discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, this video is brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering you a free audiobook with a 30-day free trial membership. All you need to do is go to audibletrial.com/bgunlocked. The link is in the description below, and now enjoy the video. Hey everyone, welcome to the discussion for The Dwarves, based on a novel by Marcus Heights. What do you guys think?
Oh,
well,
man.
that was kind of bland.
This game is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I played this at Gen Con the first time, that was my exact response then too, was that this is an alright game. So, I mean, like, I don't even know where to begin. This is kind of one of those games where it's like, it's kind of, honestly, like, just forgettable. And here's the thing. I feel like this game might be better if you know the source material.
I agree.
It's kind of one of those things, like, unlike Battlestar Galactica, where you don't really have to know anything about that, the game is still really good. Here, I feel like the game is just at best average, but it elevates it if you know, like, what these dwarves are doing, like, what their spiel is.
If you know how to pronounce everything.
Yeah, when you know how to pronounce it, it's not Bislipper and Basildini.
I mean, so it's from, like, a German author, you say?
I think so. Yeah, Marcus Heights.
Boy, so then extra nonsense words for us silly Americans.
Right, and so it's like, you might have, like, more stake in, like, the council, because you understand, like, his stance and who he is.
Right.
All the references that the adventure cards are giving. There's probably, like, that might take into account. So if we're sitting here talking about how the game is all right, it's like, no, it's so much better if you read the book. Yeah, maybe, but we didn't. So it's like, that's that.
Yeah.
Most promising product award.
And so let's talk about negatives first, because the game is kind of cumbersome, and in all reality, it's going to play the exact same way almost every single time, because every single time the track is going to start there. You're going to roll these dice, and it's always going to start from the north. And they're all inevitably going to be reaching Black Saddle.
Yes.
So it's very cumbersome and tedious to constantly be like, oh, okay, so these move here and here and here. Okay, I need to pick these up and then perish that, and these guys split off, and then that's going to cause these to go down the track.
Right.
In theory, I like this kind of, like, maze kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly unique.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of cool how they split off and they're essentially a war front, and they're kind of pooling their way through the wastes.
Yeah.
It's unique, but yeah, in practice a little cumbersome.
And then actually it probably would have been better had they been cubes. And they are cubes in the base game. There's the Saga expansion, which gives them, like, their little meeples. But then honestly, this is probably the first time I'll say that cubes are better. Because...
Right, because it gets to be too much.
Yeah, it's very...
Especially when they're, like, not all busting, and they're still all really close, because it's like, well, where was this guy? Was he really in here?
If you accidentally knock him down, then it's like, crap.
Which is very easy to do.
It is very easy to do. Here's the other thing. This game is absolutely almost 100% luck. Like, everything about it is roll to resolve. Yeah. It's, okay, well, I want to move. Okay, roll to move. Oh, I'd like to see if I succeed in this craft. Roll. And I personally, I don't like games like that, because the game is hard because it's luck-driven. So if there was any type of more mechanics, you can strategize a little bit, I guess, but really, most of it came down to, all right, roll to see if you can get there. All right, you got there. Now roll to see if you can hit them. All right, you didn't. Okay, so you take a damage. Your turn.
You died. Bummer.
Yeah, you died. Sorry. There's really nothing you can do about that.
Roll the monster dice. Okay, 3 more orcs.
Yeah, I mean, so the way the game ramps up in difficulty is purely based on, honestly, how if you roll blanks every single time, you're golden.
Yeah.
Well, if you roll 3s each time, 3, a 2, and a 2,
you're
fucked.
Yeah, so it's that's just kind of how it is. There's no real stakes. Like, you just have to sit here and hope that you roll well.
Yeah.
And it's just there.
Can I look through the item?
It's there. Yeah, there's the item cards. The item cards are kind of lame.
Yeah, I was hoping for something a little more
cool. I mean, Keenfire's really neat.
I was wondering.
Made me have like 5, which that's a lot of dice.
And we got it super,
and it's like, bam! If I was fighting all those orcs, I would have killed 4 of them.
Yeah. So I was wondering if there was a way to recover health. There is a beer stein.
A beer stein?
Where you can regain 2 health points.
Yeah.
Beer, it heals.
I do kind of like the scenario deck, like, because that will change, and depending on your difficulty, we played on normal difficulty. You remove a certain amount of cards from the top of the deck, and in this case, we removed 3. Yeah, we removed 3 from the top. So basically, the more difficult it is just more cards you have to get through before you get to Forging Keenfire, and before you get to actually getting to a C objective, which is your winning condition.
I was honestly wondering, okay, so there is more gear that will help us gain, for sure,
health, but we never got those.
Correct.
Yeah, it doesn't really incentivize you too much to go after gear.
Because it's like...
They certainly are pressing you, but...
Yeah, all those adventure cards were all about drawing equipment, but it's like, go here and go here. And it's like, but I don't really want to do that.
Because it was out of the way, and it's like, we're already about to lose the game, like... Not so much on the devious guys track, but just out of sheer, like...
I get what they were trying to, do. It's like, you want to get more powerful, you have to kind of go out of your way. You got to balance your stratagems. But then we didn't end up really needing gear.
Right.
That bad. Keenfire came with the game.
The game, and it will always be a thing that you have to do. In fact, our next card would have been a threat, which is Shelter of the Elven Kingdom. You put 2 Alfar and 2 trolls on this. You travel to the Elven Kingdom of Alendar to fight these troops. Then, each round, for each leftover troop on this card, decide for each one which player will lose 1 health point. Ooh. Return these troops to their respective supplies. Both map spaces on the Elven Kingdom of Alendar become parish lands.
Ooh.
So, the threat cards are really disgusting. Like, they're like the Great King's Last Battle. Defeat trolls on the map and put them on this card. This threat is averted when there are at least 4 trolls on this card. Then the threat is any space on the map with 1 or more trolls becomes parish land.
Gross.
So, these things are really disgusting.
We didn't draw a single one.
And we didn't, and I think that's probably why, because you have this whole deck of the white adventure cards to balance out the fact that the black threat cards are so nasty. Like, Bounty on Dwarves. This threat is averted when all dwarves meet up on any one map space. Then one of the players with the fewest health points loses 2 health points.
So what happens when you die?
You lose.
Yeah,
when one player dies, the game's over.
Yeah. So could you imagine getting that card where the person with the lowest...
Yeah, you would have died, and that would have been it. Yeah. So I think that's why, and I think that's also why when the new threat card is revealed, one player may gain 1 health point, decide who gains it. So the fact that, I do like this. I think that this gives at least some incentivization to go move around the map instead of just constantly fight. And it would have probably given the game a little bit more oomph if one of these had showed up. And it's like, oh god, we need to deal with this. Alfar attack at night. Immediately lose 1 health point per player. Decide together how to distribute this damage amongst each other. Even though the track is kind of going to be the same every single game, I will say I like the track thing. Because that kind of can plan it. If you're like, okay, so next turn we're going to roll and they're going to come from 5. So, we can try and be there and prevent them from spreading. But the game's okay. It exists. It's the Dwarves. And, the Saga expansion over there. It does add a new map. So that could be here. Gandogar Silverbeard. He's actually one of the characters from the Saga expansion. I like the little minis. But
yeah, they seem pretty sturdy.
There's nothing else really to talk about.
It's really, honestly, it didn't wow me. It didn't make me mad. It was just bleh.
Yeah. And I was hoping that it was better with the Saga expansion, but those guys... to
its credit, it is for ages 10 and up.
So are a lot of games. Feudum is for ages 8 and up.
No, it's not.
I'm actually curious. That's 2.
Feudum's you have to be 40
18.
and older.
You have to have a college degree.
You have to have studied history.
I'm going to look it up right now.
Please do.
Because I know they lie about their things, so...
They lie about their things?
Yeah, it's always incorrect box information.
That is true.
12 and up.
Ooh.
So
wow.
You want to talk about an age gap where it's like, okay, this is 10 and up, and Feudum is 12 and up. Granted, we don't have kids, so I don't know if we know two age difference really elevates their brain activity.
Sometimes I get flustered because if a kid is relatively small, like if he comes into the office, I'm like, do you want to read the number chart or the picture chart? And they're like 7.
Right.
Want the numbers. I never know what kids know.
Anachrony is ages 15 and up. Okay. Let's see.
Maybe I just think kids are dumb.
I mean, they are, but and then On Mars is 14 and up.
Well, it's also like not every kid is the same.
I know. But yeah, going back to this, like, the map is very bland. This is a very boring looking map. So it's like you can't even grace it with the artwork. I mean, I like the artwork on the character cards.
Yeah, I mean, and it's in all the little quest cards and story cards.
They fill it with flavor text, which is probably quotes from the book.
I mean, God, the names of everything is very throwing in this game.
It is, yeah.
Like, I get it. Everything sounds made up when you haven't. You know, it's like trying to devise names for fantasy settings.
It's like if we
But this one's just super
like
thick.
This is honestly probably a silent S, so it might be Belipper. But even then,
that's worse.
No, Bislipper is by far worse.
Rabibstar.
Or it's like what French? Bilipa.
Tabien. I feel like I need to know German or something.
I feel like
I mean the only thing that shows German are the umlauts above the A for the Elfar.
Sure.
Which might be evil elves. I'm not sure. But yeah, so that's this game. I really don't have a whole lot else to talk about.
That was
you roll to do everything. Yeah. So if you want the luck, if you like that, okay, well, let's let the die decide. Let's let fate. I killed one thing. It's like, yay. Then this might be the game for you. If you really like dwarves, I don't know, you're a big dwarf guy.
Hey, I'm pro dwarves. I mean,
did this make you feel like a dwarf?
I really felt like I couldn't pronounce most of the words.
Okay, so yeah, like dwarf. And here's the thing: is like there's also games that are based around book series or TV shows, and like after playing the game, I want to check out like the series. Like there's a game called Fireteam Zero, which is based off books about a sci-fi horror set or in World War One. I want to check out those. I don't want to read his book.
Yeah,
I mean. I guess I'm kind of intrigued on why the dwarves are fighting, but I feel like it's going to be kind of one of those books that are... Remember that one free book I read on the way back from Gen Con? That's kind of what I feel like it'll be. But it doesn't... It was bad. But this does have awards, so maybe the book is good. I don't know. Let us know if the book's good in the comments below. Other than that, scale of 1 to 10, Devin...
I mean, I like dwarves. I like that. But yeah, you made a lot of good points. That it's a lot of rolling.
Yeah.
There's not a lot you can do. I mean, we lucked out pretty well, I think. I mean, it was a very unique concept of the way they moved across the board. Unfortunately, in practice, it's with a little...
If we played it again, it would relatively be the same.
Yeah.
Now, what is moving is different.
I mean,
but every single... Like, all these arrows go to the same
I'll go to hard
spot.
5.
5?
Right in the middle. Right down the center. It was an average.
That's where I'm
at.
at.
I'm not really going to come back to it. I'm probably not going to remember too much about it.
Exactly. Like,
I mean...
It's... Yeah, I mean, I'm at a 5 too. I can't really fault it for being really lower. It doesn't do anything poorly.
I mean...
Like, it's not
maybe
like...
I mean too harsh, but... it doesn't do anything poorly.
So it's a 5. It's an average game.
But it doesn't do anything like...
It doesn't wow you.
Shit.
Like, it doesn't entice me to read his book. It doesn't draw me into the world.
No,
the names are fucking
They're
stupid.
silly. They're silly. They border on silly, which is really hard
and
when
at the
you're
end of
trying
the
to
day,
do fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, and I love fantasy. Granted, I'm also not the biggest fan of dwarves, but, like, the games that center around dwarves, it's like you want to feel like you're in that type of culture. This didn't do it, because you don't do anything. There's even the abilities of the different dwarves are... like very generic. The game is generic.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta think. I mean, the way the game plays out, it's very similar to like a Pandemic.
Yeah.
To like any of those games we played, it's just you're controlling the token spread, and while at the same time completing other objectives.
Right.
And balancing between those.
Right.
And I don't know. It definitely doesn't kind of reach those heights or the replayability.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think with that, I mean, I could technically see people giving it a lower score, like a 4 or something, but like I said, it doesn't do anything bad. It's just not good at the same time. So, Kat?
Yeah, well, I have to stick with my guns, and since there was a typo, I am giving it a 1. Now I'll give it a 5 too. I think 5 is fair. I don't think it's a mean score because 5 is. I mean,
I have to read the book, then maybe it's a 7.
Yeah, most people get. I mean, it has a 6.9.
I actively don't want to read the book.
Yeah, exactly. And
well, Jibber Jabber said to Maul Wiggles that his axe was the brightest,
and this also came out 8 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So it came out in 2012. So it's an older game. So back in 2012, this probably would have been decent because you didn't see games like this as much. Yeah. But also, I think what came out in 2012 was a really, really good year. That this would have been forgotten. And
it would have been shelved and nobody would have picked it up for a long time.
Yep.
And then we'd be like, oh, let's play that again. And then it gets shelved for another...
And then they think sprucing it up with the expansion where it's like, oh no, it's meeples instead of cubes. It's like, yeah, you know what? It's actually worse. Like, so.
Like, fuck.
You fucked it up.
Fuck.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, let me just. Oh god. Oh god. The game's ruined.
Commercials. Oh god. Oh no.
Ow. Trying to roll. Yeah, roll the.
That would. Yeah. So that's the.
Oh no.
Let me just. Yeah.
Let me just move my.
Oh no. Okay. So that's the Dwarves, everyone. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. Let us know if the book's good. Also,
let us know if the book is bad.
Or bad. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.